Alright, welcome back, and today I just want to do some sketching, anatomy sketching. Found this very nice photo from Sports Illustrated, one of the swimsuit models from 2019. So let's try and draw this and see what we get. And again, I'm not really sure where this one's going, I'm just kind of sketching. Okay, so let's say if that's the face, that's the head. And let's just sketch real quick. This will be a very loose drawing. Just want to see what I end up with. And if it turns out nice, I'll talk about the process. Because there are very many different ways of sketching, and for me, I don't really have a specific style. You know, sometimes I'll draw the overall shape first, or sometimes I'll just start with, one area, like right here. I start with the head right here, and then I went from there. Or sometimes you can draw, like this area right here. You can draw in like little block like this. Say that's gonna be the arm and the torso area, and that can give you a specific size reference, which I can talk about that. So let me sketch some of this stuff in first. Bikini. Okay, well, I'll start on the body then. It's the thing with the head is I tend to always get this the proportions wrong, which is very hard. It's like here, kind of have to pay more close attention, because I tend to rush on some of this, like getting to the sketching too fast, and I end up, to the shading too fast, and I end up drawing the face in a very strange proportion. Because what happens is, like, when I'm concentrating on drawing here, if the proportion here is off, then the rest looks really weird. So that's always a challenge. So when you focus too much here, then let's say you draw a really nice head with the right proportion for the head, and then you look down and you're like, oh my god, either the neck's too short or too long or whatever, your head's too big, then now what? So now you gotta redraw everything. So that's always a challenge. Okay, so let's say I have something like this, and I'll just start on the body because the head's gonna take more work. Just want to sketch something. So here's the highlight right here. The shading right here should be kind of cool. So I'm just gonna start shading without drawing too many lines or reference lines. So let's say that here, shadow down here, and here's the breast. Let's see, if I look at the breast, it's about halfway to the arm. So like from here to here, this line right here, the breast is right around here, so it's gonna go lower here. So the way I measure things is, if I draw a line like this, let's say this is the elbow, and I'll talk about some ways of measuring here. So if this is a line for the arm in there, if I look across as to where the breast is, it's about halfway the line is here, so slightly lower, so it's right around here. And then when it goes to the top here, it ends right around here, which is kind of close to this line right here. So that's kind of how I judge. Once I start with this line, I can get some, using this as a reference point, I can get, some of this accurate on this side. Okay, and if I check here, come across, it's probably a little bit lower. And then the hair right here. Okay, and then the swimsuit. Here. Okay, so once I have that, then I can, if I like the proportion or whatever lines I have here, if I know it's correct, then I'll come in and hit it harder, which is the fun part. So let's join the breast here, highlight here, highlight here, and I'm using a 10B, so it should be very, very loose. Highlight here, this part's darker, and then back to this again. The highlight for the breast is right here, and then this part here is slightly darker, but it turns away pretty fast. And the bikini here, it's important to get this curve, or else you're gonna lose the curvature, because this is almost like a contour line for the breast. I mean, I guess it is a contour line because it's running along the breast. Here. Okay, so this part should be white. Let's bring that back first, because this part needs to be dark on the back. That's what's gonna make this part white. Okay. Yeah, sorry if I'm just kind of rushing. Again, I really want to do some shading today. So here's the highlight. It's a little bit of rim lighting. This part's dark. Slightly lighter up here, and on the bottom, slightly darker. And then the bottom of the arm, here's the elbow. It's a little bit of curve here. That's very important. If you make it straight, it's gonna look like sticks. And here, highlight here. And then this flattens out. Lighter on the body here. This part gets darker. Very light, almost, I guess a good word would be fluffy. Very fluffy movement. Very light shading. So the hands again, here's finger, finger, finger. I'm trying not to draw too hard of a line, because I actually want to shade the fingers and let the hand come out from the shading. So even though I know, there's a finger here, I'll draw it very lightly, and I'll try to shade more of it right here. So it gets darker right here, and then it gets darker on the bottom. And now move on to the next one. Here's the other finger, very light again, and it's darker on the back here. I'll give it an overall shade here. So go really light on the finger. I guess that would be a good way of doing it. And then just concentrate on the shading, and let the shading bring out the fingers. So again, okay, let me make this real dark here. This will pop up the hand. So very light shading. I mean, there's really not a lot of details, but the form is there, and that's what's important. Once if I want to add in more detail to this, then I can add in more detail to the hand. But if I keep working on the hand, then there might be a little bit too much detail on the hand compared to the rest. So I'm just trying to keep things, I guess, consistent in a sketch. And then if I want to push it to the next level, then I'll do it overall. So that, like, just in case if I don't want to finish it, I can just leave it loose, and then it'll be kind of a more completed piece, because it is more consistent overall. Okay, so here is the bikini here. So cleaning up the shapes here. And this line right here is important because, again, it's like a contour line on the body, on the hip area. And there's a slight bulge here. So like the buttocks, how far does it go out, right? Well, this one's easy because if we look at the reference from the arm, if we come straight down, it should be right around there. Okay, so now we know it comes out this much. Okay, so it's gonna end right around here. We'll just forget about that. And just let me add in a little bit of shading here. There's a rim lighting right here. Okay, there's an edge right here, the bone. Comes all the way down. And then this part's dark. And then right here, the tummy. So this part's all dark. Okay, and we can add in, well, let's see if this is correct. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit darker. This part's dark. This part's darker in here. Tummy line right here. Okay. So if I look at this right now, it's very, overall it's very sketchy. And if I want to, now I can add in another pass to it, a second pass. Okay, or we can come up and draw in some of the head. All right, this will be a little bit tricky. I actually want to shade the body more, but all right, let's give the head a try. So if my head is wrong here, then it's really gonna break it, isn't it? Hair is not important because it can change. It really doesn't affect the drawing as much. So normally I'll just draw the inside of the head, this area, and then outside just leave it. We can always add in, because if we spend too much time here and this is wrong, then it really doesn't make any difference. So let's try here. Let's try to get the proportion right. So eyebrows here, eyes here. Lip. So again, even I know the features are there, right? I'm trying to tell myself, don't draw the line, don't draw the line, draw the shading. So here's the nose. So you don't draw a straight line there. The reason we see a line here is because this part here is dark. So I'm constantly kind of reminding myself, to shade it instead of drawing. It's kind of like reminds me of movies or filmmaking, right? Don't tell me the story, show me the story. So in a way, drawing is like don't show me don't draw in the lines. Just show me the shading instead. Show me the form. Okay, again, so the eye's a little big. Might be a little creepy right now. Yeah, it's way too big. Okay. But it's easy to make the eyeball smaller. So let's just keep moving on. So again, let's shade in cheek here. So hopefully I can get the expression. And then here's the lip. It's got a really nice smile. Okay. All right, so now it looks okay. I guess the proportion is not too bad, so. Okay, again, so the hair is not important. All right, let's come back down here. I really want to shade this part because this to me is the most interesting part. Just because of the lighting right here. So let's come back to the shoulder. I always love the shoulder right here because if you shade it right, you have a really nice glow to it. It's got this bone right here. This kind of pops out right here. Now I'm pushing in darker now. This will be my second pass. So this part right here, there is a line and then this kind of fades out, especially right here in the armpit. And then there's a bulge right here. That's important. A little too dark here. Just dab it, just get rid of that. And then there's a little bit of shadowing right here. It's this way, it curves, because there's another bulge right here. And the bikini, and there's a slight curvature, that's important. And then right here, you have very small lighting. There's a very hot rim lighting right here in the back. Your elbow. I almost drew a line there. I mean, it is really sharp, but just really gotta try to avoid that temptation of drawing a line there. Okay, a little bit of shading here on the back. Okay, so the lighting is coming here. It looks like this is probably a studio shot, because this is not it doesn't look like a natural lighting for this environment. Because if it's on a beach, this area right here should be light, but instead we're getting a highlight here just on the top. Okay, we're getting a highlight here just on the top, and then this part gets dark, which is really weird. It's either shot in a studio, or maybe they have some, light modifiers to block out the light there. Okay, let's keep going. So this part here is darker. So the highlight runs along, it gets a little bit sharper here. Underneath, there is a shadow here, or a pretty hard line. Here's the wrist. Some shadowing in here. And then there's a highlight and a hand here. So that means this part, all this needs to be darker, right? And then the wrist right here, very hard because it's like a bone. And now we're back to the hands. So now we can add in another, let's shade in the knuckles here. 1, 2, 3. Then the finger is going to be darker. 1, 2, 3. Here's the knuckle. Yeah, my pencil is getting really dull. And then very dark in here. This is like the other fingers inside here. So again, I'm trying to shade it and not drawing in the lines. We can add in the line work later, but that'll be more like a style. Thumb right here is really small. Okay, so I guess it's again, not a lot of detail, but it's consistent overall, so that's a good thing. Smaller details in here. can always sharpen up my pencil and really concentrate on that more. So the breast, we want to get that nice glow right here. Here, back up here. See, the next it looks a little too long. All right, let's come down here. I'll finish this up a little bit more. So right here, this is a really nice part too. But we don't see much of it. So here is the Terminator, and here is a little bit highlight there. Well, the bikini needs to be darker, or else we won't even see it. So this runs along up here. Here's the bone, hip bone. Let's fade that out slightly. Okay, and then here, slightly darker. Another highlight here. All right, there's not much going on here because we kind of details goes away. So it's gonna end it right around here. So the back here, this has a hot highlight, same as here. So it's nice to have that. And should I even bother with the, all right, let's just draw that. So even on the string, try not to draw it. Just look at it and see which part, because there are some parts that's gonna be darker, like here. So I come down here, this kind of goes away. So just give it some variation, so it feels like, you know, some areas catching more light than others. So like right here should be a little bit darker than here. See, come back up here. This part's cool. This will really pop out the hands, the arm. So she tucks in her tummy, and that's why there's a little curves inwards. This part right here is darker on the bikini. This part's very dark here. Rim lighting, rim lighting. Elbow is nice too. It's nice to get that bone there. There's a little bit of glow. Highlight. Here, probably too bright. Too dark, I mean. And then we're back up here. I don't know if I want to keep going. I know the head's a little bit strange. Yeah, it's a little, now that I'm shading more of it. So I think her neck is way too long. So that is the problem. Let's see. If I look at this, here's the shoulder blade. Okay, the head is totally wrong. I'm so sorry about that. Looks like a giraffe now. So here's the shoulder comes across. Here is collarbone. So the neck is here. Okay, so the mouth, the chin should be like down here. All right. So that means, you know, this whole thing needs to go away. So again, this is what happens when you sketch too fast. We gotta get rid of this, it's so disturbing. Okay, so here's the chin. Let's see, the eyebrow should probably be around here. Eyes, nose, and then the mouth down here. Yeah, it still looks creepy, isn't it? Yeah, because it's so messy right now. Okay, let's see if I can salvage this. The body's nice. Just we have to get the right proportion for the head, or else it'll be very creepy. It's not like if you're drawing on a computer, you can draw this and then you just move elements around. So it's very simple to correct things. So let's see. I think this is better. Okay, so here's the cheek. Comes across. Here's the ear. Hair. 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 Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. But still, it looks kind of strange to me. Okay, I might just skip the head. I can draw later if I put my head over it, because it looks a little too long. Okay, so let's see. From this stage, I guess I would sharpen up my pencil and, you know, really refine some of the shading, clean up some of the areas, get back some of the highlights, and really push it, you know, to another stage. But other than that, I think the fun part is just really at the beginning, you know, when you're sketching. The first and second stage is fun. Now it's, you know, it's more of a grind to bring things out. You know, from this stage on is really, you know, turn the radio on or whatever, run your favorite movie on the background and just kind of grind away. Okay. All right, so let me give that a shot, see if I can come up with something better with this. See if I can somewhat salvage this. If not, it'll be a failed drawing, and I'll show you that too. All right, I'm back, and here is the final drawing, and I probably spent another half an hour or so just to, you know, finish things up. Unfortunately, most of the time we're trying to get the proportion of the head correct. The face turned out okay. I know it doesn't look like her, but it doesn't really matter. The hair was kind of fun. I used an electric eraser, and I was able to bring back some of the highlight. So now it actually looks like blonde hair, so which is kind of cool. Now the body, not much, just a little bit more shading with the 10B overall. Pretty much everything that you guys see on camera. All right, so that is it for this drawing. Yeah, it turned out okay. I wish I had the right proportion for the head. I think it'll be a lot more fun. All right, so that's it for this. Hope you guys enjoyed this little sketch, and I will see you guys next time.